Thank you, Bruce. That was great. So it is a pleasure to be here. Thank you all for coming to this lovely event. We are really here to celebrate small businesses and support small businesses. And to illustrate that, I'm going to tell you two stories, one happy and one not so good. And I want to leave you with one fact that I hope you will take with you long after this event is over. So the first story is Green Apple. This corner was had a rundown liquor store that attracted a pretty bad crowd. And with the determination of Nabil, Farah, and some support from Urban Solutions, we've been able to transform that into a Green Apple Market. And Nabil, she's working with the police to try to improve safety in the area, just really to revitalize that corner, and then revitalize the block, and then this is right near Templeton, which is not easy. So really, congratulations. The second story, which is not so good, is Ernie's Kitchen. This is a successful business. They have a loyal clientele, and they're on Larkin. They have the best tea leaf salad I've ever had. And in fact, if you're on our advisory board, they're going to be catering our next advisory board meeting on November 6th. But because of rising rents, they're going to have to close. They're probably going to shut down end of November. And we're working with them now to try to find a new place. We've been trying to negotiate the existing lease, and we're working on to find a new place. But it's just a reminder of why we have to keep working to try to keep these small businesses in San Francisco, to keep them in the neighborhoods, because they're vital. They can do what the neighborhood, what Green Apple has done. So here's the fact. 68% of every dollar you spend, 68 cents of that is going to stay in the community if you spend it on a locally owned small business. This is from a study by the locally owned Merchants Association. And so think about that. When you're soliciting locally owned business, you're helping the local owner that often lives here, they often hire here, therefore they spend here, and they pay local taxes. So when you're out there, if you can increase your spending on a local business by 10%, you're gonna make a significant difference. There's been some studies that if you increase your spending by 10%, you can raise 1,300 jobs throughout the city. So think about that. What are we doing about it? Urban Solutions, I've been on board as the executive director since January, and it's been great. I'm just so happy to be here, and we're doing some pretty cool stuff, I must say. We have legal office hours with partners like Hanson Bridget, that provides pro bono, one-on-one consulting for small business owners who need help. We've started banking office hours with our partners like Wells Fargo and U.S. Bank. Provide free one-on-one consulting with bankers. We arrange loan capital. We don't give loans, but we steer people to the right place. We have a dynamic enterprising women program, which Helen mentioned. We focus on, it's great. In fact, Helen Branham was honored recently, and the Supervisor Bree spoke at a Women Changing the World event. Gala that was sponsored by the SF Foundation. Helen was honored for her work in getting that program going. It's really made a difference in the lives of the lives. In fact, with the gift basket that you saw, Nanette was a client, and the featured item is artwork that she did. And I think she's doing great. Thank you. In addition to that, one thing that I'm really excited about, we're trying to take some new initiatives. We're working with tech companies right now to provide tech training to small business owners. We've been in contact with Forest City. They're excited about supporting this program, and I'm really looking forward to growing it. We also have a dynamic advisory board that's been growing. We've been meeting to talk about with bankers and developers and small business owners, and what can we do systemically to change the business environment to help small businesses thrive. And we've been talking with our partners in the city, OEWD and planning and the Office of Small Business, who appreciate these kind of positive comments. And we're working together to see what we can do collectively to really make a difference. So these are initiatives that I'm really excited about. But we could not do this without all of you. So I just want to take a moment. I know Bruce did a nice job of thanking people, but I just want to give you a little exercise before the cognac. First of all, if I can ask the staff, our staff of resolutions, if you could stand for a moment. They are responsible for our programs, and many of you are responsible for the They give their time and their money to make this we've grown the advisory board by 50% since January. We have 35 people now. It's a dynamic group, and we're using that for voice and training. I'd also like to thank our sponsors and all of our donors, including Wells Fargo and U.S. Bank and Hanson Bridge. Please stand. I want you to all keep standing. A lot of cognac to drink. So please, for Marcel and Jane, you can stand, and First Bank and First Republic, and you're all out there at MJM and TGM. Please stand. Because I want to, and finally, I would like to have the small business owners in the room. If you could stand. The small business owners, I'd like to pick up. These are the things that are really good. So thank you very much. Anne is going to kill me because I skipped the notes about the raffle. So that reminds me what you did to buy those raffles. If you go to the top, and they're very fun kids. I will say Kathy Madison's donated her vacation home to Remember, and I made supreme sacrifice of going to my mother-in-law and getting our beachfront property. So really, thank you very much. It's been a pleasure to be here. It's a pleasure to have you. Thank you.
Makes us an incredible community are people like Monetta White and David Lawrence, who continue to not only have their business and grow their business, but give back to the community that they hold dear. So I am here today. I am honored to be here today to present you with this award on behalf of Urban Solutions, on behalf of the City and County of San Francisco. Thank you for your tireless commitment, and I don't know if Helen wants to say something. I know I monopolized the time, but Monetta, I'm so happy, I'm so proud, and I'm so thankful for your commitment, not only to District 5, but the City and County of San Francisco. So, thank you. I also want to give a shout out to Nanette, who is an incredible, Nanette Harris. Her artwork is absolutely amazing. Come on out, Nanette.
For those who haven't been to 1300 on Fillmore, I am proud to say that we have American cuisine with a Southern influence, with a lot of rich culture of the Fillmore as the atmosphere in our restaurant. I, as a native San Franciscan, really take pride in being from the Fillmore. My mother was born there, and as being an African-American business back in the Fillmore means a lot to me. When the opportunity presented itself to build a restaurant in the Fillmore, I have to say, if I didn't have the chef, I would have thought twice, but it really was about this legacy that I wanted to really be a part of in the Fillmore.
A very special new tenant in our neighborhood, in our district. Adam Fong from the Center for New Music.
Thank you so much. It's quite an honor to receive an award like this. We've just passed our 2-year anniversary at the Center for New Music, and so we've been tallying a few things up, and it's really mind-boggling what can happen in 2 years. You know, we've presented over 250 concerts on this little space in the Tenderloin on Taylor Street. We've paid out over $50,000 to the artists because we always pay 100% of the door fees to artists, most of whom are local artists. And this month in October and next month in November, we have artists touring from New York, from Boston. We had a pianist from Japan perform just last night. And, you know, I think this idea of having the Center for New Music was, it came from 2 places for me. One, it came from being a musician, being a composer on the scene in San Francisco, and getting to know what other musicians really needed. And it also came from this idea that, you know, there could be something better for our community here. There could be something that really serves our musicians and is a part of the fabric of the city, that honors the history of this type of music, which has had a life in San Francisco for many years. But at that point, it was just an idea, and I'm remembering back to this moment, this extremely frightening moment that I'm sure all small business owners and entrepreneurs have experienced, which is sitting around the table with my wife and my co-founder, and looking at this possibility for this space and wondering, should we really do this? You know, this is years of our life, and thanks to Urban Solutions, it was many years and not just 1 or 2 years. And I think, you know, there was so much work that Ellen had done, that Tracy had done up to that time, to get us in this position where we actually had a choice. You know, we had a choice to take this risk and to do it together. And I think the wonderful thing about Urban Solutions is not only that we were put in that position and given assistance, but after we made that choice and took the leap and took the risk and signed on the dotted line, they didn't go away. So I've been really happy to have the support of Ellen and of Steve now, as we've continued to grow and discover what our business is all about, to grow into our space on Taylor Street, to get to know our neighbors, and to do all of that with this sense that, you know, we can take these risks and try to be creative with how we serve musicians and how we serve the neighborhood. And that there's room to create what that block can be or what that neighborhood can be. You know, it doesn't have to be that when you think about Turk and Taylor, you think about danger, or you think about homeless people, or you think about drug dealing. It can be that you think about an art center, or it could be that you think about, you know, one of the most inspiring and mixed income level neighborhoods in the whole state. And I think, you know, those kinds of things, they're not obvious to anyone who just walks along the street, but the important thing is there has to be this space where it's possible to get creative like that, to take those risks. And I think the work of Urban Solutions is creating that possibility. You know, as an artist and a creator, that's the thing that I want to see the most, is for everyone to have that space to get creative. That's the moment that we're trying to protect with our space with the Center for New Music. So I'm really grateful to get this award, and I just want to say that it's unbelievable what can happen when an organization like Urban Solutions creates that space for people. So thank you.
So I don't envy the judging panel because they certainly had a very difficult decision and choice to make when taking a look at the at-large awards. And in fact, in District 6, we actually had a tie between 2 very deserving small businesses. And so I did want to recognize the next awardee for at-large in District 6, Huckleberry Bicycles, is, yes, you can clap. So I also remember when Huckleberry came to District 6, and Jonas and Brian and Zach have remained incredible partners business in our neighborhoods, continuing to be involved not just as a business but also advocating on the policy end. Who even has time for that? I've been listening to all the small business stories tonight, and it is remarkable to me that they find the time to advocate for ways to improve our neighborhoods on top of everything else that they're doing. But they have really been an incredible part of helping to transform our mid-market neighborhood, especially as we become a city that is finally taking a step towards realizing its transit-first policy, its commitment to being a more walkable, more bikeable city. And a lot of our residents have actually begun to ride bicycles for the first time. And Zach actually sits on the board of directors for the Bicycle Coalition, and was along with Zach, who sits on the Central Market Community Benefits District Board of Directors. They have both been advocates for the Better Market Street project, which is going to transform Market Street with protected bicycle facilities, and the beautiful bike counter, which many of you may have seen on Market Street as well. And Zach continues to keep in touch with the office about ways that they can really help to shape and inform policy that we're working on. And they've just been an incredible asset to this neighborhood. They don't stop with just selling product. They have also been involved with SFPD in our efforts to try and curb bike theft. I'm not really sure what merch bait is or what that looks like, but I'd like to see some merch bait if they provide that to SFPD to test out, to entrap bicycle thieves. And yes, I know, going above and beyond. And so I would just like to recognize Huckleberry Bicycles, Zach and Brian. I know.
Which we're happy to do, because Jonas and I love taking the microphone. It's one of our favorite things.
You go first, buddy.
Unfortunately, this isn't a karaoke bar, but we'll do our best here. So let's see. That wall right there on the left is actually gone. Because we opened 3 years ago, we doubled the size and we knocked out that wall. So 3 years ago, Jonas and Zach, who's not here, and myself decided we wanted to go into business together. We wanted to work with each other. We wanted to work with friends. We wanted to do something fun. We love bicycles.
It's been amazing. The neighborhood works just fine for us as is. It's amazing to be in a place where there are so many people moving through. But it'll be interesting to see what happens in the next 5, 7, 10 years to our neighborhood as it's changing and growing and developing. We really want to see more businesses like us in our neighborhood and in the neighborhoods like ours in San Francisco. And we know that Urban Solutions is going to make that happen. So we couldn't be happier, we couldn't be more thankful, or more appreciative of this support. So thank you all so much.
Pinky's unfortunately was not able to join us this evening to accept their award, Pinky's Bakery, located in the South Market. I did just want to briefly say that they are an amazing entity as well. You should definitely check them out.